Day 28, Egypt and Exodus, Exodus 3, Leviticus 2-3, Psalm 44. Let's begin. Exodus 3. Now Moses was pasturing the sheep of his father-in-law Jethro, a priest of Midian. And when he had driven the flock into the interior of the desert, he came to the mountain of God, Horeb. And the Lord appeared to him in a flame of fire from the midst of a bush. And he saw that the bush was burning and was not burnt. Therefore Moses said, I will go and see this great sight, why the bush is not burnt. Then the Lord, discerning that he proceeded on to see it, called to him from the midst of the bush, and he said, Moses, Moses. And he responded, Here I am. And he said, Lest you should approach here, remove the shoes from your feet. For the place on which you stand is holy ground. And he said, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Moses hid his face, for he dared not look directly at God. And the Lord said to him, I have seen the affliction of my people in Egypt, and I have heard their outcry because of the harshness of those who are over the works. And knowing their sorrow, I have descended in order to free them from the hands of the Egyptians, and to lead them from that land into a good and spacious land, into a land which flows with milk and honey, to the places of the Canaanite, and Hittite, and Amorite, and Perizzite, and Hivite, and Jebusite. And so, the outcry of the sons of Israel has come to me. And I have seen their affliction, with which they are oppressed by the Egyptians. But come, and I will send you to Pharaoh, so that you may lead my people, the sons of Israel, out of Egypt. And Moses said to God, Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and that I should lead the sons of Israel out of Egypt? And he said to him, I will be with you. And you will have this as a sign that I have sent you. When you will have brought my people out of Egypt, you will offer sacrifice to God upon this mountain. Moses said to God, Behold, I will go to the sons of Israel, and I will say to them, The God of your fathers has sent me to you. If they say to me, What is his name? What shall I say to them? God said to Moses, I am who I am. He said, Thus shall you say to the sons of Israel, He who is has sent me to you. And God said again to Moses, Thus shall you say to the sons of Israel, The Lord God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, has sent me to you. This is the name for me in eternity, and this is my memorial from generation to generation. Go and gather together the elders of Israel, and you shall say to them, The Lord God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, has appeared to me, saying, When visiting, I have visited you, and I have seen all that has befallen you in Egypt. And I have spoken in order to lead you out of the affliction of Egypt, into the land of the Canaanite, and Hittite, and Amorite, and Perizzite, and Hivite, and Jebusite, into a land flowing with milk and honey. And they shall hear your voice. And you shall enter, you and the elders of Israel, to the king of Egypt, and you shall say to him, The Lord God of the Hebrews has called us. We shall go 3 days' journey into the wilderness, in order to offer sacrifice to the Lord our God. But I know that the king of Egypt will not release you, unless you go out by a powerful hand. For I will extend my hand, and I will strike Egypt with all my wonders that I will do in the midst of them. After these things, he will release you. And I will grant favor to this people in the sight of the Egyptians. And so, when you go forth, you shall not go out empty. But every woman shall ask of her neighbor and of her hostess vessels of silver and of gold, as well as garments. And you shall set them upon your sons and daughters, and you shall despoil Egypt. Leviticus 2:3. When a soul will offer an oblation of sacrifice to the Lord, his oblation shall be of fine wheat flour, and he shall pour oil over it, and he shall set down frankincense. And he shall bring it to the sons of Aaron, the priests. One of them shall take a handful of the flour with oil, as well as all the frankincense, and he shall place it as a memorial upon the altar, as a most sweet odor to the Lord. Then what will remain of the sacrifice shall be for Aaron and his sons, the holy of holies from the oblations of the Lord. But when you will offer a sacrifice baked in the oven from fine wheat flour, specifically, loaves without leaven, sprinkled with oil, and unleavened wafers, rubbed with oil. If your oblation will be from the frying pan, of flour tempered with oil and without leaven. You shall divide it into little pieces and pour oil over it. But if the sacrifice will be from the oven grating, equally the fine wheat flour shall be sprinkled with oil. When you are offering it to the Lord, you shall deliver it into the hands of the priest. And when he has offered it, he shall take a memorial from the sacrifice and burn it upon the altar as a sweet odor to the Lord. But whatever is left shall be for Aaron and his sons, the Holy of Holies from the oblations of the Lord. Every oblation that is offered to the Lord shall be made without leaven, neither shall any leaven or honey be burned with the sacrifice to the Lord. You shall offer only the firstfruits of these along with the gifts. Yet truly, these shall not be placed upon the altar as an odor of sweetness. Whatever sacrifice you will offer, you shall season it with salt, neither shall you take away the salt of the covenant of your God from your sacrifice. In all your oblations you shall offer salt. But if you will offer a gift of the firstfruits of your grain to the Lord, from ears of grain still green, you shall parch it at the fire, and break it open in the manner of meal. And so shall you offer your firstfruits to the Lord, pouring oil over it, and imposing frankincense, because it is an oblation of the Lord. From this, the priest shall burn, as a memorial of the gift, a portion of the cracked grain and the oil, as well as all of the frankincense. But if his oblation will be a sacrifice of peace offerings, and he wishes to offer it from the oxen, whether male or female, he shall offer what is immaculate in the sight of the Lord. And he shall place his hand upon the head of his victim, which shall be immolated at the entrance of the tabernacle of the testimony. And the sons of Aaron, the priests, shall pour the blood all around the altar. And they shall offer from the sacrifice of peace offerings, as an oblation to the Lord, the fat which covers the vital organs, and whatever fat is interior. The 2 kidneys with the fat that covers the sides, and the mesh of the liver with the 2 little kidneys. And they shall burn them upon the altar as a holocaust, placing fire under the wood, as an oblation of a most sweet odor to the Lord. Yet truly, if his oblation and the sacrifice of peace offerings will be from the sheep, whether he will offer a male or a female, they shall be immaculate. If he will offer a lamb in the sight of the Lord, he shall place his hand upon the head of the victim, and it shall be immolated at the vestibule of the tabernacle of the testimony. And the sons of Aaron shall pour its blood all around the altar. And they shall offer from the victim of peace offerings, as a sacrifice to the Lord, the fat, and the entire rump, with the kidneys, and the fat that covers the abdomen, and all the vital organs, and both the little kidneys with the fat that is near the sides, and the mesh of the liver with the little kidneys. And the priest shall burn them upon the altar, as fuel for the fire, and as an oblation of the Lord. If his oblation will be a goat, and he will offer it to the Lord, he shall place his hand upon its head, and he shall immolate it at the entrance of the tabernacle of the testimony. And the sons of Aaron shall pour its blood all around the altar. And they shall take from it, to feed the Lord's fire, the fat which covers the abdomen, and that which covers all the vital organs. The 2 little kidneys with the mesh that is over them near the sides, and the fat of the liver with the little kidneys. And the priest shall burn them upon the altar, as nourishment for the fire and as a most sweet odor. All the fat shall be for the Lord. By a perpetual law, in your generations and in all of your habitations, neither blood nor fat shall you eat at all. Psalm 44. Unto the end. For those who will be changed. To the sons of Korah, toward understanding. A canticle for the beloved. My heart has uttered a good word. I speak of my works to the king. My tongue is like the pen of a scribe who writes quickly. You are a brilliant form before the sons of men. Grace has been poured freely into your lips. Because of this, God has blessed you in eternity. Fasten your sword to your thigh, O most powerful one. With your splendor and your excellence extended, proceed prosperously, and reign for the sake of truth and meekness and justice, and so will your right hand lead you wondrously. Your arrows are sharp, the people will fall under you, with the hearts of the enemies of the king. Your throne, O God, is forever and ever. The scepter of your kingdom is a scepter of true aim. You have loved justice and hated iniquity. Because of this, God, your God, has anointed you, before your co-heirs, with the oil of gladness. Myrrh and balsam and cinnamon perfume your garments, from the houses of ivory. From these they have delighted you. The daughters of kings in your honor. The queen assisted at your right hand, in clothing of gold, encircled with diversity. Listen, daughter, and see, and incline your ear. And forget your people and your father's house. And the king will desire your beauty. For he is the Lord your God, and they will adore him. And the daughters of Tyre will entreat your countenance with gifts, all the rich men of the people. All the glory of the daughter of its king is inside, in golden fringes. Clothed all around with diversities. After her, virgins will be led to the king. Her neighbors will be brought to you. They will be brought with gladness and exultation. They will be led into the temple of the king. For your father's sons have been born to you. You will establish them as leaders over all the earth. They will remember your name always, for generation after generation. Because of this, people will confess to you in eternity, even forever and ever.